city brought us this up.
That's right.
Mr. Secretary, Congresswoman, good to see you again.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Can I introduce you to two of my colleagues who will be walking with? This is Dean Vijaya Gompa, who's the dean here of the STEM school.
Pleasure to meet you, Miguel.
Very nice. Mr. Terry Tidwell, the director of our Innovation Center.
Very nice to meet you.
We have some folks. And the first stop here is our Esports Lab. We're one of the few schools here, the early schools, and this is Dr. Burnett Lawson-Williams, who is the founder of our esports program. Please meet Congresswoman Adams.
Yes,
This is Dr. Cardona.
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure
to meet you.
Pleasure meeting you as well.
And why don't you give us a couple of minutes on our esports program?
Absolutely. Good afternoon, everyone. We are happy to boast that we're the first HBCU with an esports and gaming trifecta. And that trifecta consists of course, you can see our Esports Lab here, as well as our government club as well. But the real founding point is our esports and gaming management academic program, because that's where the emphasis is for us. Of course, we love the fact that our club inception to playoffs in 6 months. And so these are our star members here. Actually, Keenan Johnson, sitting here, was on the front page of the education section of the Washington Post. And I'm originally from Maryland, so my parents went and picked this up as a copy. I think another point that we want to make sure that everyone is aware of is that we are partnering with Riot Games, the world's leading esports and gaming organization. And so Corey is one of the 5 students at JCSU who is actually interning with Riot Games right now. And so esports and gaming is the way of not just the future, but currently. And so I presented, Professor Cash has presented as well with regards to esports and gaming K through 20 programs. And so it is very imperative that our HBCUs are given funding as well as opportunities to excel in this. And it's not just about, again, gaming, but the careers that come out of this. And so that's why Esports Gaming Management minor program, which is for JCSU students, as well as our certificate program for non-JCSU students, is an integral part of educating our society. And so we're excited to boast here.
So you can
total of 25 in total.
Okay.
Yeah. So this will be console gaming. One of our students just won the Warner Brothers Xbox tournament on yesterday. He's out. LA All Expense Esports Conference that was actually organized by the Wilson Center. And it was all about esports education. So you're going to continue to hear about it, but specifically in esports and gaming conference. And that's the business side of esports and gaming. Not teaching students to become gamers, because they're already doing that.
I'm noticing you got the tip right. You know, you're right. This is where it is now.
This is where
I know a lot of people think gaming, this is an industry right now.
That's
that
right.
We're not nimble.
That's right.
Right.
We're going to miss it.
That's right.
And we're teaching them the business of it.
We're
And that's
teaching
why
this
Professor Cash
Yep.
and
You
Dr.
got it.
Lawson-Williams
I
are
love
just
it.
great.
I love it.
Yeah.
And as someone that's been on a waiting list for a year for an Xbox for my son, I know there's a need out there.
That's
and
right.
I would love to hear more. Maybe not right now because we don't have the time, but
Absolutely.
so you got this. This is engaging. I'm sure
It's
you probably have a
very
waiting list to get in. And I know if this were offered in high school
Absolutely.
as a feed-in to
That's
this,
right. That's
the
right.
line would be the most
Absolutely.
popular
That's
teacher.
exactly.
That's right.
So how do we do that? And
Yeah.
I know there's an innovation champ over
Right.
here,
Yes.
so we're gonna have to figure it out.
It's already figured out. I'm working on it, I know, for my twin sons' middle school. And so the high schools, we've already talked to
See
CMS
Let's
superintendent.
talk. Let's have this,
make it
yeah.
happen. We talked to CMS superintendent some months ago, of course, prior to the pandemic.
Yeah.
So
Maybe just on the frills.
it can't be. No,
Yeah.
we have to tap
Well,
into the
love
academic side through the careers.
Well, thank you, Dr. Lawson.
Thank
Yourself there. I think we planned that very well.
The timing of that was impeccable.
We planned everything down to a T.
I love it.
Great. Okay. Welcome. Hello. Dr. Dugo, good to see you, sir. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. Please let me introduce you to Congresswoman Alma Adams, Mark Dugo, and this is
Miguel
the
Cardona.
Secretary of Education, Miguel Cardona.
Likewise.
And we're being joined obviously by Mr. Tidwell and Dr. Gopal. So why don't you give us a little update on what's going on in the sustainability program here?
System services and watersheds.
and the idea around watershed stakeholder engagement, the empowerment perspective there. And we're looking at different areas right now on the EJ Screen EPA website, looking at different areas in the watershed that have potential environmental justice risks. So match up with our water quality meters. So we're going to be going to these sites. We're identifying potential sites that have environmental justice issues, and then we have some reference sites. So we're going to be actually going out and looking at the water quality and then correlating that with metrics of biodiversity. And so that's what we're doing this week. Last week, we're also looking at food deserts in the watershed. So if you are in a food desert, then by nature, you're saying that your local environment is not providing for your basic needs for quality of life. So that's that aspect. And then within this watershed paradigm, next week we'll be heading to the headwaters up in the mountains, Highlands Biological Station, looking at patterns of biodiversity. And then the week after that, within the watershed, we'll be down at Belle Baruch Marine Institute, looking at the coastal
environment here. It's not just textbook. It's go out, measure the water, come back, talk about it. Food deserts.
Yes, yes, sir.
Right.
And we have the sustainability village. So we are in an area that has issues. 100 square foot greenhouse coming online this year to address the farming and that as an approach to alleviate runoff into the waters. So agricultural practices. So we were looking at aquaponics, and I think the students were very, very fond of that approach. And so we're excited about that. We have an educational scale system now, and the greenhouse will get us into the commercial zone. So we like to look at this paradigm as a means of connecting the historical ties of African American. Have a good day.
This is, you're talking about making that bridge. This is our Upward Bound program. So, yes. Hello. This is Magdalene.
Hi, how are you?
Secretary. C. Smith has run faithfully for a number of years. And so,
As a matter of fact,
let it turn it over to you.
the Upward Bound program has been here on the campus of Johnson C. Smith since 1971. That's 50 years.
Wow. I didn't know it was that long.
Yes.
Wow.
They're here from Sunday night until Thursday in the evening. And the young lady that's standing next, she's an educator from Discovery Place. We're doing a partnership with engineering. And what is your class?
Maker education.
Mhm.
Right. And Discovery Place is here as a museum.
Yes.
Local.
Yes.
These programs work. I hope you all are thinking about what you're going to do when you go to college. And I'll just share with you something that a 5th grade student shared with me. A lot of times, I have a daughter who just finished her freshman year. But I had a 5th grader who asked me to shift the way I speak when I talk to youth. Don't ask students what they're going to do when they graduate. Ask them what they're going to change.
Wow.
So think about it that way.
Yeah.
My wife was a student in an Upward Bound program, and
Oh, okay.
she was the first in her family to go to college, and I know the
I love
impacts
that.
of them.
That's
yeah,
a great,
yeah.
I'm going to remember that.
Awesome.
Yeah, I
Yes.
taught in an Upward Bound
Did you?
program too, yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Summer program.
Phenomenal.
One and two
Phenomenal.
skaters.
So they've been working.
So this is like a makerspace type of thing, right? You're gonna
Yeah.
grab things. What is the topic? Is it free? I see something up there.
Yeah, so this is all about design thinking.
Okay.
It's a kind of a different form of the scientific method where I give them design challenges and limitations, and they use uncommon materials to come up with creative solutions to problems.
Love it.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow.
And it's as much negotiating, compromise, and talking and engaging as it
Yes.
is.
Do you have any final samples that have been demonstrated?